Well, first off, as you can see, I would rather stand behind the podium than our superstar, our two superstars, Reno and Satema. But I didn't realize I was going to be able to come here tonight and be with two of my teammates. Golly, what an awesome deal. Before I even say anything, I want these two guys, I think Satema left, and they know this, but I love them. I would do anything in the world for them, and they're my brothers, and shared some real wonderful experiences and wonderful times with them. And I may share an experience about Reno that I haven't shared very much, and I may share that a little later on as I talk to you tonight. Football is something really special, and if you haven't had the chance to play it, or you missed that opportunity, or you're looking forward to the opportunity to play football someday, there's nothing like it. You get to be on a football team of a bunch of young men or men, and you're fighting for a cause. You get you have a wonderful opportunity, and I say wonderful because I really believe it is, to get knocked down hard and get hit so hard that you don't want to get up. You can't breathe, or you're down, you're losing by 3 or 4 touchdowns. The pain is excruciating. And you have to get up. And I always say this to the quarterbacks. Not only do you have to get up, but you have to get up faster than your opponent gets up. And if you beat that opponent up off the ground, you win. And I prided myself on getting hit so hard I couldn't even breathe or stand up. And if I had a broken leg, then I was going to stand up anyways. Just so the guy that hit me knew that he didn't get the best of me, then I would fall down or go off to the side of the but it was all really, it was all made possible because of young men like Reno Mahe and Satema Nolly, and I wish they were still playing at BYU. As a coach now, I look at these guys and go, gosh dang, we could use Satema Nolly at defensive end right now. And we definitely could use Reno Mahe for sure on the offensive side of the ball. I also need to explain one other thing, and some people have been looking at me a little strange this evening, as my wife has, and I don't blame any of you for looking at me different. I lost a challenge with the quarterbacks, and I've learned now that I need to be very careful about what the challenge is and what the ultimatum is for the challenge. Don't ever tell them if they accomplish the challenge that you'll shave your head. And I learned a very valuable lesson. Hence, I have a very white head. I wear a hat now, and I had to shave my head last night after our evening practice. I'm going to tell you why. We set a goal as an offense for fall camp this fall. We went back and did a study and found that if we could score 5 touchdowns per every 1 turnover, fumble, interception, if we could score 5 touchdowns for every turnover, that we potentially could lead the nation in touchdown to turnover ratio, and hence win a lot of football games. So we challenged our offense this fall. We said, if you guys can have a 5-to-1 touchdown ratio through the entire fall camp, then we're going to have a great season. And so the issue was challenged at 20 touchdowns and 4 turnovers, 5-to-1. And we started off fall camp. We were 3 days into practice. And you have 29 practices. Just to give you an idea, you have 29 practices in fall camp. We're at practice 3. We had turned the ball over 4 times. Let me restate that. Max had thrown 4 interceptions in 3 practices. And how many touchdowns had you scored in 3 practices? 1. So here we were. We had already accomplished our goal of 4 interceptions, which isn't a goal, right? We're never setting a goal to have interceptions. But here Max, it seemed to be that he was trying to accomplish 5-to-1 ratio on turnovers to touchdowns. And I'm sitting in quarterback meeting with our quarterbacks, and Max is mad. He's, you know, you can't tell he doesn't have much of a temper. Not very passionate. So this was kind of rare for him. He's upset. Coach Mendenhall, by the way, in practice is very careful about anybody even getting near Max. If the defensive player gets within 4 yards, maybe 5 yards of Max, he blows the whistle as loud as he can, and if anybody runs by him or gets too close, that player's out for a play, and everybody, you're in trouble. Don't get near Max. And he's kind of wimp, not much temper, not very passionate. And so here we are. He's complaining to me that Coach Mendenhall is blowing the whistle too fast. He's blowing the whistle too fast. Like, how am I supposed to score a touchdown when anybody even gets near and he blows the whistle? And so in that moment of confusion as a coach, how do I motivate the quarterbacks to bounce back from a little bit of adversity right now? So I looked at Max and I said, Max, don't worry about the whistle. Don't worry about anything else that you can't control. If you, by the end of fall camp, if you rebound and get to the goal of 20 touchdowns and 4 turnovers, then you can shave my head. So in my mind, I'm thinking day 3, he would have to score 19 touchdowns in a row without throwing an interception. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I learned not to challenge Max. And I think some of the teams we played against last year. Friday practice, yesterday we had a 2-day practice. At the end of that practice, we were at 21 touchdowns and 4 turnovers. He had scored 19 touchdowns in a row, and they followed me in the locker room, and they shaved my head last night. It was the greatest head shaving I've ever had. And I will shave my head every year if our team will have the fall camp that they've had. And in fact, I kind of think it's a tradition now. They're going to do it from now on. I don't think my wife likes that, but she knew me before BYU, and I always had a shaved head at Skyline High School, so she's used to this look. In fact, I walk in the door and she goes, "Hey, look, there's Brandon Doman, class of 1995, Skyline High School." So at the end of practice today, we're coming to a near end of practice now, and it's now 23-4. And he continues to climb 21 touchdowns in a row. So just wanted to give you an idea of where our offense is. I couldn't be more proud of the group of young men that are controlling and running the offense.